Good evening, Paolo.
I
The internet seems to be quite bad.
it took me quite a while to connect.
I wonder if it's. See how quick Charlie connects. Hello, Charlie. Can you hear me?
Hello, perfectly clear and loud and clear.
Cool.
Nonsense. I'm just looking for my glasses. I was 2 seconds.
No problem.
I've just been watching the Charlie Chaplin
Can you guys hear
speech.
me okay?
Yep.
All right. I think that's better. I seem to be having some network problems. Okay. All right. Is this everyone, Charlie?
As far as I'm aware, Dan, Gaff, James, Paolo. Yeah, the only person was Rianne, so we're all in.
Okay, great. All right. Evening, everyone. Welcome.
Evening.
Is everyone all right if I record this? I want to record this to an unlisted, and then maybe we'll make it public if need be. Yeah?
Yep, please do.
No problem.
Okay, so I saw everyone's thumb up, even James's from the side there. Okay, cool. All right, so the first thing we're going to do is build the container. We'll go for an hour tonight. Yeah. And yeah, I'm checking in, particularly excited and serious about this. Leadership's a fucking important topic for me, and I think there's a lot of poor leadership in the world. But I check in, grateful to be here. And Charlie, I want to honor you for putting this together. I'll take you.
Well, thanks. David, am I audible? You can hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I'm feeling excited about tonight. I've been looking forward to this call all day. You me since I asked you, you given David. Yeah, I'm excited. I also just want to throw in, and Dan. I had a fantastic phone call from Craig at Middlesbrough Football Club, who's wanting to speak to us on the 3rd of November. He said that he spoke to the mayor of Middlesbrough and the top man at the Middlesbrough police station, whatever that human title was, and they're talking about prevention is the key here. Prevention, and that's what he wants to talk to us about on the 3rd of November. So I just thought I'd throw that in, just an exciting phone call. Thanks, guys. And I'll tag James.
Hi. Yeah. So going with the theme of excitement, actually, really, this is it's an unexpected thing and very lovely. I had a look over the slides before, and I'm still, yeah, excited and looking forward to it. So I think we'll pop over and say hi to Paolo.
Thanks, James. I'm very thankful for this container tonight. Yeah, thanks, Charlie and David. I've had 0 sleep last night, so I'm pretty exhausted, but I am very thankful and looking forward to the container. Over to you, Dan.
Thanks, Paolo. Yeah, thank you for putting this together, David. And fuck me, Charlie. Wow, that's great. Police station and the Middlesbrough mayor, which is brilliant. Yeah, excited. It's been a fucking manic day, like manic day. I finished work, straight home, picked the missus up, drove half an hour, dropped her off, and literally sped round the corner to find a place where I can get signal. So yeah, it's been a bit crazy, but I'm excited to get stuck in, and yeah, I'll tag Garth.
Thanks, Dan. Yeah, it's been a really busy day for me as well. And I only just saw the email and the video, so I watched the one clip and tried to have a look at the slides quick. And yeah, I'm also really excited for this evening. Looking forward to it. Feeling great. And thanks. I think that's back to you, Dave.
Okay. So, I'm kind of making this up as I go along, and I just want to acknowledge the seriousness of this for me, and how this really impacts me in the world, and it's the thing that fucking drives me hard. So yeah, and I can feel quite tearful as I talk about this. I think what we'll do is we'll start with the video of Charlie Chaplin, the leadership video, and just to put some context in it, it's called The Great Speech, and it was made in 1939, just before the Second World War started. And movies had gone from silent movies to talking movies. And Charlie Chaplin was a master of technology and adjusting and adapting to the changes in society. Yeah. So I think we'll start with that. And I want you to think of, as you watch the movie, to think of this as from a servant leadership perspective, and from the perspective of being so proud of something that you're willing to give your life to it. So that might mean protecting your children, protecting your family, protecting whatever, but something that really just, whatever that is for you. Yeah. Okay, so I'll play the movie. Just let me know if you can't hear it. You should be able to. Where is it now? Fuck, I had it all prepared and everything. Hang on 1 second. Can you hear it and see it?
I'm sorry, but I don't want to be an emperor. That's not my business. I don't want to rule or conquer anyone. I should like to help everyone if possible. Jew, Gentile, black man, white. We all want to help one another. Human beings are like that. We want to live by each other's happiness, not by each other's misery. We don't want to hate and despise one another. In this world there's room for everyone, and the good earth is rich and can provide for everyone. The way of life can be free and beautiful, but we have lost the way. Greed has poisoned men's souls, has barricaded the world with hate, has goose-stepped us into misery and bloodshed. We have developed speed, but we have shut ourselves in. Machinery that gives abundance has left us in want. Our knowledge has made us cynical, our cleverness hard and unkind. We think too much and feel too little. More than machinery, we need humanity. More than cleverness, we need kindness and gentleness. Without these qualities, life will be violent, and all will be lost. The aeroplane and the radio have brought us closer together. The very nature of these inventions cries out for the goodness in men, cries out for universal brotherhood, for the unity of us all. Even now, my voice is reaching millions throughout the world. Millions of despairing men, women, and little children, victims of a system that makes men torture and imprison innocent people. To those who can hear me, I say, do not despair. The misery that is now upon us is but the passing of greed, the bitterness of men who fear the way of human progress. The hate of men will pass, and dictators die, and the power they took from the people will return to the people. And so long as men die, liberty will never perish. Soldiers, don't give yourselves to brutes, men who despise you, enslave you, who regiment your lives, tell you what to do, what to think, or what to feel, who drill you, diet you, treat you like cattle, use you as cannon fodder. Don't give yourselves to these unnatural men, machine men with machine minds and machine hearts. You are not machines, you are not cattle, you are men. You have the love of humanity in your hearts. You don't hate, only the unloved hate, the unloved and the unnatural. Soldiers, don't fight for slavery, fight for liberty. In the 17th chapter of St. Luke it is written, the kingdom of God is within man, not one man nor a group of men, but in all men, in you. You, the people, have the power to create machines, the power to create happiness. You, the people, have the power to make this life free and beautiful, to make this life a wonderful adventure. Then in the name of democracy, let us use that power. Let us all unite. Let us fight for a new world, a decent world, that will give men a chance to work, that will give youth a future and old age a security. By the promise of these things, brutes have risen to power, but they lie. They do not fulfill that promise. They never will. Dictators free themselves, but they enslave the people. Now let us fight to fulfill that promise. Let us fight to free the world, to do away with national barriers, to do away with greed, with hate and intolerance. Let us fight for a world of reason, a world where science and progress will lead to all men's happiness. Soldiers, in the name of democracy, let us all unite!
Holy fuck.
Yeah, let's do another check. Physically, I got like tingles going over my body. I found that incredibly powerful. I'm in with that. I submit.
I
Who's
found that I found that I think on the WhatsApp group it said it's 72 years old. That it's as powerful then as it is powerful you today. Every single word, every single heartbeat. I feel myself sweating. My hands are sweating. I'm watching it. Just the passion, just this whatever was rising in me was just rising. You know, it could have been tears. It could have been laughter. It could have been whatever the emotion was. I don't know. It was extremely powerful. Extremely powerful. Amen.
For me, it gave me I don't know. It just makes me want to go out and do more. That's what it did for me. It made me want to go out and push this even fucking more. You know what I mean? That's what it gave me. This is just the start, and yeah, it just gives me more determination to make this even bigger and bigger with great people.
I guess
Okay.
I guess what I'm always left with that is the same sort of sadness I always feel whenever I see that it was necessary in the first instance, and its relevance today is because it is still very poignant, unresolved. Far be it from a call to arms, I find it saddening. It saddens me. Yeah.
Yeah, I've also watched that a number of times, and every time I see it, it has the same yet different impact on me, or for me. And yeah, I do find it. I find it very sad, but I also find it very, very human. So yeah, that's me. In.
Yeah, I also found it a little bit sad as well because it's so far away from anything that that I'm hearing today in terms of political discourse and just what people are saying in the media. What I'm hearing from politicians and leaders today seems like a very cheap copy of not even remotely on the same level. It's not inspiring. It's not, yeah. So, yeah, that's how I'm checking in. Thanks.
Cool. Thanks, Garth. So, are we good to move on? Yeah. Okay, so let's just capture the feeling in the container. And I would say there's a lot of compassion in this container now. Grief, sadness. Oh, fuck. Can't believe that the world is still like this. It's still relevant today. Yeah. The hypocrisy in the world, all that. So just, yeah. So now I want to move to some structure. Yep. I want to move to a model because a lot of leadership for me is about getting aware of your emotions, what's going on for you, and calling on those emotions at the right time for the right situation to be able to stand and deliver. and you guys are working in crisis, chaos, and conflict. You're working in, it's like it's a fuck up, and good leadership brings, for me, it brings containment, safety, stand and deliver, authenticity, the unity. Those are the sort of things that I believe good leadership brings. Yeah. And those are kind of leadership values that resonate for me, and I need to be able to call on those for the situation that's presenting. And for that, I have a model then to help guide me in my leadership, and hopefully this model will be helpful in guiding you. Okay. So here is the model, here is the picture. Let's see if I can you all see it?
Yeah.
Can you see it?
Yes.
Right. So in the middle of the model is me. Yeah. Let's see. Can I get a pointer? All right. So here I am in the middle of the model. And then here's David. Yep. Here's my center. Here's my axis. Here's today is the archetype of within the uniqueness. So what are your unique gifts that you bring to the world? And what are the unique gifts you see in your team? And if your team was unity and you were a bigger self, what would that look like? And then we got the 4Q model where we've got IQ, EQ, SQ, and then self-mastery, which would be PQ. And just out of interest, we created this back in 2012. And I really, the PQ model really only landed for me. It's called the 4Q model because it's like 4Q to leadership, particularly when leadership is being unjust and shadowy and causing cuck, when people are getting drunk on power, greed, that sort of thing, and you can see it. It's a difficult thing to manage in leadership because you get power. Yeah. Okay, so here's the model. Where's there a pointer? I'm sure I can get a spotlight. Is that the spotlight? There we go. Whoops. Fuck it. So we'll start with IQ. Yeah, leadership styles, values and culture, and then the context, a story around it. Yeah, so my leadership style, I've got some charismatic leadership. People look to me, and I've got quite a big personality at times. I crack jokes. I'm irreverent. I can be quite manipulative in my behavior, charming, things like that. And the types of values and culture sorry, it's not meant to do that. The type of values and culture that I want to drive and create, what sort of values do I model, and what sort of culture have I created? So I value diverse learning styles. Yeah, because that's driven by a wound of mine from being growing up dyslexic and in that school environment. I value loyalty. I value friendship. I become aware of what your personal values are as well, and what sort of culture do you want to create here within yourselves and your organization. And then transactional leadership is quite, do this, do this, do this, do this, do this. And the other side of that leadership is transformational leadership. How have I transformed? How have other people transformed? If you look at yourselves and how you've been in the container. So we'll go with Charlie on his pilgrimage, or in fact, all of you that have done the pilgrimage, how did you transform in yourselves as you went on that journey? The next quadrant is leadership of yourself and others, and leadership of organizations. Yeah. And the type of relationship you have with other people's, your colleagues, with organizations. You're working as a team and you're interacting at different times with people. When you go into an organization, what kind of support does that organization need? I'm here, I'm thinking, okay, guys, how can I help you in your organization? What is it that you need? How's this going? I can't see you. Is this?
Yeah, it's good, David. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, keep going.
good. Okay, cool. So you need to have self-awareness, yeah? And the emotions you need to be aware of is guilt and shame, because they're fantastic. They'll tell you about your own internal values. So when you've pissed someone off at work and you're feeling guilty, you've pissed on their values. If something's happened and you feel ashamed about your behavior, you've pissed on your own values. And healthy organizations don't stay in guilt and shame. Yeah, the individual moves out of guilt and shame and embraces the anger, sadness, fear, and joy. Those are the four core emotions we talk about. Obviously, there are more emotions, but really want to kind of keep it fucking simple. So, for example, one of my guilt and shame feelings I had is I had a lot of white guilt because of my whiteness and my privilege and unearned privilege being and living in South Africa. And I had a lot of white guilt. And what that would do is in my leadership, I would be weak because I felt ashamed and guilty, and I wouldn't hold people accountable that weren't of the same skin color as me or gender. Yeah, I've got the same thing with women. But white men, I can fucking call a cunt straight away. I had no problem with that. But women or people of color, black people, there it's already coming up. People of color, like fuck, there's and that white guilt fed into my leadership in a way that I wasn't clear with direction. I wouldn't hold accountability, and it wasn't good for the organization. Yeah. And another example of that when I started the clinic, I employed all my sponsees because I felt, oh, I've got to help everyone, give them jobs and all that sort of stuff. And then the relationships got very confused. Yeah. And I became aware of my own codependency. Anyway, that's I've been around a while and I've made a lot of mistakes. Okay. So types of relationship, the organizational structure, the type, I like a very loose, agile structure. Some people like fucking, they want to know where it is, what they're doing, and yeah. Okay. So moving on, we'll move to spiritual intelligence. Now, there's no point being a leader if you haven't got followers, because you need people to support you and to execute. Now, spiritual intelligence sits in the realm of service, servant leadership. Yep. And you can only really serve people that are going to follow you. Yep. Or you can get somebody who, like, sometimes you get the lone leader, the person like Gwen is a lone leader. She sits there and goes, oh, nobody loves me, nobody cared, nobody, oh, no. What does anyone know? Blah, blah. But actually people look up to her and follow her wisdom. Yeah. There are examples of lone leaders out in the world that they still lead, but they don't have teams around them. Yep. And then you need different leaders in different times, climate, market, and economy. So in times of war, you need different leaders. In times of good times, you need different leaders. And the context is always the story. Yeah. So how do you lead yourself, others, and organizations? And a lot of our leadership style at Mauni is servant leadership. I mean, and we get so much out of people. We create so much because we're able to tap into people's kokorozashi. They fucking come here and it's like, oh my God, they've tasted crack. And then they just fucking come here and give and give and give because they feel inspired spiritually. Something fucking gets ignited in them, and you can see the fucking passion in Charlie Chaplin and I get it when my kokorozashi comes out and start foaming at the fucking mouth, and yeah. And then in the last quadrant here, it's the leadership of yourself. Like, how do I look after myself? What is it I need? My mental health took a fucking. I really needed to put my hand up last year because I was so fucking driven. And then I got into trouble with alcohol again, and I had to put my hand up and say, fuck, I need some help. And and to start my kind of physical recovery by just having a stable place to stay, some stable income, and from that I've really been able to blossom and grow. Yeah, fuck. So that's the model, and well, what we'll do now is we'll just go around the room a bit. First of all, I want to check, is this working for you? Yep. I normally don't talk that much. Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like the school teacher up front. Yeah. But yeah, so let's open the floor for a bit. And I've got time, so if we need to go past 7:30, I'm okay with that. But yeah. So did you like the model?
I loved it.
Okay. What did you like about it?
I like, for me, it sometimes you don't recognize as I've been a manager in various places across my working life, and maintain all four corners, as you mentioned, to be fully to have your full, basically to have a full capability of yourself, I believe. Because if you don't look after yourself, then all of the other three areas are going to go downhill. And once again, if you don't look after, you mentioned before, like the spiritual side, can't say it, side of it, then it all folds. So there's got to be a good, healthy balance. Looking after yourself. How do you look after and approach other people that you're working with? How do you look after or work with other people on your team? And as you said before about your core values, about recognizing if you are honest and you are and being punctual, and, and there's so many different things, and putting all them four corners together sometimes makes you realize if you've not got one of them, then all of it sort of crumbles, really. So it's making sure that you've got what I'm gonna call it, the full package. That makes sense. But I really enjoyed it, and I got a lot from what you said.
Right. Okay. So just to tell me, so it was helpful because when you've been in the role of a manager, you've been able to get some cognitive insight, yeah, where you've seen how you're in that role, that there are parts that you were blind to, that it's. Do you ever
Yeah.
get that? Do you ever notice that manager that, like, they get the role of manager and then fucking next thing it's like and they like can do this and why are you late and
Mr.
performance review, and like they get the power and it's like, fuck. And you think, who is this person?
Yeah. And they start micromanaging.
Oh,
Exactly,
micromanaging.
exactly. And micromanaging, and then they start sort of, and then a lot of people start getting offensive when they feel like they're being undermined by other people. This person can't manage me because he's of a certain age.
Yeah.
And
Who's this fucking young kid telling me what to do?
exactly. So it's how you manage that yourself, your own personal self. So
Yeah.
I definitely got a lot from that.
Great. Thanks, Dan. Who's next?
I like map. I like the structure of a map. I like something in front of me. A little bit. I'm a not the WRP in the morning, the RWP in the morning where it's got my energies and what we're following. Even though it's not like we're not been following it to the letter to the T. There's a map there, or there's a little guidance that I can see myself in every bit. And when you were, and I like that actually, I like a map. I don't know what it is, but I like a little bit of structure, a flowy structure that I can see myself in. It's important I can see myself in the map. If I can't see myself in that map, then I'm just not learning. And when you were mentioning about the shadow as well, because one of my biggest things, is reliability. When you're starting to mention about the shadow of leadership, and the reason that my main core value is a reliability, because my shadow is also that. Because I never showed up for jack shit. I showed up for nothing. If I wasn't getting something out of it, or if I wasn't getting something out of you, I wasn't showing up. Or most of the time I was man showing up, but it was because I was getting something, or I was to look good. So that's still one of my core values now, but it's because of my shadow man as well. And it's nice to look at the shadow as well, because I was actually speaking about this the other day, that there's loads of like human leaderships and stuff like that don't really look at the shadow. And I feel, if I'm honest, it's only been in this year that I've even I've known about a shadow. What is that? Have I got a shadow? Of course I have. It's always been with me. But in the same sense, it's also been a protector, as well as as well as someone who wants to get what they want. It's protected me as well. So it's you look at it in the good and the bad. So reliability is a massive one that for me, and I still got it. It's like you need to be showing up. If you're not showing up, I want to know why you're not showing up. But that's me. That's coming from me. And also, I love the servant leadership as well. I love that approach. So I could see myself in all of it. All the quadrants, I could see myself in it. So it's a good model. So yeah, I'm in. Thanks, guys.
So I'll just comment on that if I may, while
Yeah,
waiting for
please.
others to jump in. So I have something similar where I fucking have such anxiety about arriving on time and being on time,
Yeah, I got
and that's driven by a childhood wound. And I've also had to adjust that because to adjust it to the environment that I'm in, because it's crisis, chaos, and conflict. So, working in an addiction environment, you have to be very flexible, and you also need to bring the structure in a way that, like I can't run a clinic, being so laissez-faire. Yeah. I've got like fucking group starts now. You need to be in group. I don't care if the residents show up. Yeah, but as the facilitator, you need to be there because group needs to start on time, because it helps bring structure to the patient's psyche who come from chaotic childhood backgrounds. And if you haven't got the structure, it creates fear and anxiety. And the patients don't know that yet because they're still running around as wounded children. Yeah. So the therapists and the team and the culture of the organization, they need to be behaving as adults, not as parents. And a lot of the therapists want to go and go, oh, shame, poor kid, you know, which doesn't actually help the patient. Yep, oh, I could go on for this for hours, but you guys aren't working in a clinic and you're not working with addicts. Yep, you're going out into the business world, into your like it's like you're working in a community. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Yep. So you're working with families maybe that have been impacted.
Yeah.
Yep. And businesses that want like so um yeah, that's who's next? James.
I don't mind jumping in a bit because I'm kind of looking at it as a as like a diagnostics thing as well. So when I come across like challenges and things in what I'm doing, I'm like, why isn't this working? What have I got to do to change this? Is there something I'm doing that's not correct, not right? Is it not right for the situation? What elements of that? And as start points and leads into what that might mean, what that might do, I can see a lot of use within this kind of chart here, and possibly the bouncing around between it as well, like task for task, maybe, like this in this particular task area here. This is great, this is all really useful. This one probably not so much. Probably don't need to bring in the whole thing, but then as like a kind of like a holistic, balanced view of the type of thought processes and person you need to be in a scenario. Yeah, that ticks a lot of the boxes.
Yep, so it can be used as a leadership assessment tool. Yep, and an organizational tool as well to see where leadership should be focusing. Yeah. Those of you that know the Collins expanded window where I've got the leadership and the management, yeah, it's good for them to kind of work, okay, here I need to manage, here I need to lead.
Yeah.
Great. And lots of organizations do it. They go into HR and they do, let's do a Myers-Briggs, or let's do some personality evaluation tool. Yeah. And then the downside of that as well is a lot of people can get caught up in so if you look at an organization that was run by marketing and they do very well. Yep. So the marketing team have the power in the organization. Then the accountants come in to try and control the organization and control the expenses to package it so the company can be sold. But once all the accountants move in and they start to take over, the culture changes. And then that can impact the business, certainly impact the culture. You can see it in with lived experience organizations, now there's money for governments. Okay, get lived experienced organizations. Now the outside context is changing. Like there's money available for that. Organizational culture shift and change and the tensions around it. I mean, a few years ago, if you told people you took drugs, you were fucking kicked out of the organization. Now you tell people, yeah, fuck, I've been to jail, I've taken drugs. Oh yeah, we want you. So what the fuck? It gets a bit. Yeah. Garth, Paolo, you wanna come in here?
Yeah, I'm taking a minute to digest all of this because I thought I knew some things about leadership, and predominantly from the foundation of self-mastery, right? So you take care of yourself, you sort yourself out, and then you figure out where you can take responsibility in your environment or in your workplace or whatever you can respond to. You see if you can do that, take responsibility when things don't work out. Where could I have done better? And then when it comes to doing things, can I do it or can I get somebody else to do it? And that's sort of like, you know, and the same works for like your family situation and sort of any environment. And so if I had to picture leadership as this little structure, like this little house, I thought that leadership was this little house and I had it all neatly sorted out. And then this evening, I discovered that there was an extra door in this house and I opened it. And now there's like 300 other rooms that I didn't know were there. So I'm going to be having a look at this for a while. It's like, it's really cool because some of this went over my head. And I thought that's great because now I've got something to actually think about and get stuck into. So thanks.
Fantastic, Gus.
So Garth, I just want to point out a leadership quality you have there. You've made a great use of metaphor and humility. So first of all, you kind of said, "Oh fuck, I've no idea." I've just opened up to like to realize like there's a lot of stuff I don't know. A lot of bad leadership doesn't own up when they don't know. So first of all, that was great, courageous vulnerability there. And then you used a metaphor to link left and right brain thinking about your house. You know, I thought I was fine in a house with one door, and now I've opened another door, and there's a whole lot of things. That's a great metaphor to describe how you're feeling physically and how you can now kind of adjust yourself to kind of move forward in the future. Does that make sense? That was great leadership, Garth. Stories and that's one of the skills of we do, isn't it? That's one of the things you do is you go and listen to people's stories to align with the company's values and mission. Yeah, purpose. Paolo, thanks.
Yeah, I do have a very long journey ahead of me here with the leadership stuff. And I need to, or I tend to need to keep things as simple as I possibly can. So the only tiny wee bit that I've kind of looked at around leadership is a leadership style. It's not very commonplace or well spoken of, but it's a Evan leadership style, which basically focuses on empathy, values, just cause, and basically leading from the soul and not the ego. And that's kind of my foundation and where I kind of try and start from. But I'm only at the start of my journey in leadership. I've still got a long way to go, but I'm just trying to solidify that kind of foundation for myself as my kind of starting point, and hopefully I can build onto that.
Oh.
I've got something to quickly say. I was speaking. It's weird. We've been speaking about this topic in things that I've been doing from work, and there's this comment that I heard. I think it was about 3 months ago. Management is doing things right, but leadership is doing the right things.
Oh, that's nice. Say it again.
So management is doing things right, and leadership is doing the right things, and it's completely different. But I think that's such a good way of knowing the difference.
Wonderful, Dan. And another thing is we're all managers and leaders. So in that triangle, yeah, on the one vein, if you look at leadership, so you need to develop your leadership style. And the other way, you need to develop your management style. So you need to fill out the fucking paperwork and make sure other people do it. Yeah, do that fucking transactional shit. Open the bank accounts, make sure the books are right, make sure people fucking all the policies, procedures, process, blah, 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 the management stuff. And then you need to do the leadership stuff, which is vision, mission, and goals. Yep. And then the two meet in strategy. And strategy is something that you all need to sit down together and say, okay, lads, where the fuck are we going? Cool. All right. So let's capture one quick leadership learning that you've taken. Just quickly. Dan, you're free on this one if you want, because that last thing you just did was fantastic.
Dickhead.
No, I think for me is putting yourself in someone else's shoes and treating them how you want to be treated.
Oh wow. Okay, wonderful.
What a dickhead.
Okay, who's next? If you don't want to go, just say pass.
I'll go. Identifying what informs my decisions. Whether it is the like past anxiety, so you were saying timekeeping, and whether that's a personal thing that you then come to expect from somebody else. So identify what informs those drivers.
Okay, is that it?
That I love. I am learning that I love to learn.
Mm.
This style of learning, I absolutely can't get enough of it. Even though I haven't really understood everything, but what I want to say, give me the transcript, give me the video, just give me all just now so I can go away and poker his ass yet. Do you know what I mean? And put it in chat GPT and fucking get into it. And that's kind of what I am learning. I love this style, man, of learning. I don't know what it is. It just sends power into it.
So just to go through the model quickly. So leadership is self-mastery, your story and others. And in the bottom right, you can see in the model where it is. And Charlie Chaplin mastered his own story. Abandoned by his violent alcoholic father and mentally ill mother, was sent to work at the workhouse at age 7. He used humor and wit to survive his childhood, was able to manage the feelings in such a way that made him a success. As a leader, he was able to manage himself and not get overwhelmed by his own stuff. Now you can tell why I like Charlie Chaplin. Yeah. In a transactional leader, Charlie had a high IQ in the fact that he could get things done. He had good common practical sense. That's key to transactional leadership. Guys, we've got to get this done. AI is here. We need to fucking adjust things. Fuck, things are changing. Charlie Chaplin had a high EQ. Notice soft, caring look on his face contradicts the Hitler look. A good leader understands human emotions, their own and others. And then the last picture is Charlie Chaplin, servant leadership, working in the cog of a big machine. Spiritual intelligence, a leader with spiritual intelligence has moved beyond the selfish needs of self, like greed and power, but understands the needs of mankind and the greater good. This picture illustrates Charlie's satirical take on the industrial America and the civil rights of the workers. Okay, beliefs, values, and leadership style. Charlie made his fortune out of playing a poor tramp. His strong leftist political view influenced his movies. His own personal values were aligned with the organization, and he was authentic around the fact that he made his riches by playing poor. Yeah, and Charlie Chaplin got chased out of America in the 50s under the Hoover administration, I think. They thought he was a communist. Yeah. Charlie also realized that his brand, the Drunken Tramp, carried value out of the movie industry and branched to the branded merchandise business. His leadership style was entrepreneurial in nature, often using his own money to fund his movies. Yeah. Fuck, this is a good presentation. It's just, fuck, I so relate to it. Charlie's leadership style evolved as he got older. You can see him with Gandhi here, one of the icons of servant leadership. However, when Charlie was exiled from the US, he spent his time mainly with his family of 8 children until his death. Personal power and charismatic leadership. Yep, here's a picture of Charlie Chaplin making use of his reputation and his charismatic leadership style to sell fidelity bonds after World War One. Yep, and Charlie, you've got this on your Instagram. You've managed to create kind of a following, and that where people want to look up. Yeah. So notice all the followers literally looking up at him. I mean, that's a fucking powerful picture, huh? I mean, you could say he was the first celebrity, the like in the movie industry and that sort of thing. Yeah. Okay, understanding people, emotions, and the structure of society. Notice the relationship between Charlie and the jail bully, the guards and the dope fiend, the relationship between Charlie and the drug cocaine. Now look at that from a leadership perspective when he was a dictator, scriptwriter, and producer. Good leaders understand power dynamics of relationship and how their power can influence relationships, as well as understanding the power structures that make the world that we lead in. So let's stop there. And let's show you the next video. Have you got time? Yeah, you're good to carry on? So
I've got about 5-10 minutes.
No problem. Where is this? Here's one I prepared earlier. Where the fuck is it now? Is this it? Yep. Yeah, sorry. Are you still there? Yes.
Yep.
Where are you now? Oh, so there was a silent movie. Yeah. He obviously knew about cocaine. Yeah. At the time, cocaine had just gone into, it was the end of prohibition, and cocaine and alcohol was, the drug laws came in, and alcohol was legalized and cocaine was criminalized. The way that society viewed the dope fiend and kind of focused on, and the roles of the police coming in there, or the jailer, yeah, the role of the bully taking his brain, and how he used his trickster joker energy to to get around that, something that I relate to. Um, then he took the coke and he got this false bravado and he fucking used it, and he did well, yeah. And then he at the end, yeah, he wasn't locked up. And what happens is he was wrongly arrested because he was accused of being in a communist march in the movie. And then that scene put something for me around what's morally right and morally wrong. And it's a great thing to talk about morals and things within yourselves, your leadership, and your organization. Yeah. So yeah, I'm just getting a bit self-conscious around time. Yeah, I think we should do this again, though.
Definitely. I really enjoyed that. I'm going to have to shoot off because I'm going to pick my wife up and there's no signal, so I can't keep you on.
Do you want to check out, Dan, and then we'll just check out?
No, but yeah, you can carry on. It's up to you. But I'm checking out. So thankful. I really got a lot from that, and I really mean that as well. So yeah, thank you. Just really grateful, David. Thank you.
Thank you, Dan.
No problem. I'll see you all soon, guys. Take care.
All right, mate. Bye.
Bye, Dan.
Okay, are you guys pressured for time?
No, I'm not.
Okay.
I might have to split very shortly. So while we have a break in it, we'll take a natural one, I suppose, and I will check out with reinvigorated, re-inspired to yeah, a bit more self-examination, a bit more academic than I have been of late. So there we are. That's all a positive to me. Thank you very much, and yeah, I'd love to do this again. That'd be great.
Cool.
I'll speak to you soon, James.
See you, James. Yeah, so one of my leadership shadows is I just fucking, when I get my kokorozashi gets some things like, yeah, I want more and more and more. So it's hard for me to cut off and say, no, time's up. So fuck it.
Yeah.
I'd like to stick around a bit longer and talk with you guys if you've got time.
Yep, I have.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah, that'll be good.
Go, Paolo.
I'm just saying that'll be good.
Yeah, good. You're right. Yeah, good. Right.
I was just, am I going to say, I think as a new organisation and a new community to uh, have this leadership development course on the Monday night ongoing would be so beneficial. I know Dan and James have just said that. I feel privileged, and David, to also have you in this community that you can provide us to us. Because this is like a resource that we have got, and I just really want to tap into it. Because the six of us are leaders, and if we all get our own style of leadership, for me it's like I don't want to tell people what to do. Bring it. Bring it. Do you know what I mean? And instead of like asking to do this or whatever, what have we all got? And I think this style here that you've put out tonight enhances that for me. That style, man, of in my leadership. And yeah, I would love to carry this on. And Monday nights, whatever, whatever you think. So I just wanted to say that.
Yeah. So Garth, Paolo, what would you like to see? What's your leadership stretch for the week?
There's a couple of books that I really enjoyed reading on the subject of leadership, and I think I'm going to listen to them again and see how I can apply them to what I heard this evening. Because maybe there was a lot of stuff that I missed when I listened to those books the first time, and I'm going to see if there's if I can go a little bit deeper on those. And yeah, so I think that's what initially comes to mind. I really enjoyed this evening, and it's made me realize that I can definitely dig deeper with this particular subject. Thanks.
Paolo?
Yeah, I think it would be hugely beneficial if this continued. Just maybe find another night so that once the We Do program is kind of running, so that it could be on another night or something like that, so that doesn't get impacted. Just a thought. But me, I'm still very much on. I'm still very much developing my self mastery. Where examples will be like, so I stay on the property where I'm at, so I just get called left, right, and center at any time of the day or night. And like this evening, someone comes along and can we have a chat? And I'm like, I'm in a meeting. I'm sorry. And for me, those simple boundaries are for me part of my self mastery because I never ever did that. I never had boundaries in my life. I also do things like if I have coaching sessions with people on certain times, if they aren't there in 15 minutes, I'll see you next week. When I do groups, the groups start at 10 o'clock, that's it. So, and those are just, I suppose, I call it self-mastery because I suppose I'm just trying to learn and practice living my values. Because if I'm not clear about those, I don't think I'm going to be very beneficial to team members or organization. So I need to be clear on those so I can see which ones are aligning and which ones need work and attention and so on. So that's something for me where I'm still at. So I've got a long way to go, but it's no, I spent, as Charlie likes to say, I spent nearly 40 years in the madness. I'm trying to find sanity, and I've only been doing it for a few years, so it's going to take me a minute. I look forward to it, I look forward to the discovery of who Paolo actually is.
Yeah. So I think
And it's fucking, sorry, David, and it's fucking wonderful to go on that journey as part of this team.
So I'm just trying to think what I want to get out of this. So there are two stories two ethical burdens that sitting with me. And I'd like to talk about them sometime. Yeah, one I briefly touched on this morning, and then the other one is so I love going out into the world and doing good. Yeah, and I've trained a lot of people that have found out how to kind of open rehabs and do this sort of thing, and then they've gone out and they've been in competition with me. So they didn't want to collaborate with me. And I was stuck with the ethical dilemma. It's like, well, fuck, do I let them go off and do it because good needs to happen? Or do I get secretive about this sort of stuff and keep it to myself? And my value of community and Ubuntu is to like fucking, just give. Yeah. I was really moved by Ocean this morning in the container about the role of a missionary and being of service, and soldiers, they go off to war and they're in service, and they're in the army doing service. And then she said, but we don't look after them very well when they come home. And fuck, it's so true. And I feel like I've been out at war doing service, and then I come home and it's like, fuck. So that's one thing. But what's happened for me is down here in London, there's an organization where I went for treatment, for want of a better word, and I really want to go in and help that organization, and they don't want me there. It's kind of clear that, like, but nobody's telling me. Yeah, but just the behavior. There's a saying that goes, do you know what a braai is, Charlie? You must know what a braai is. It's like a
Barbecue.
barbecue. Yeah. So there's a thing in Joburg. If somebody for a braai, yeah, they'll come over and you go there and people actually fucking invite you up. But in Cape Town, they'll say, come over for a braai, but they won't tell you where they live. It's So let's come over, but so it's
Yeah.
and it feels a bit like that. People have been saying, yeah, David, we want you involved. Yes, but when actually I'm there, it's like, no, we don't actually fucking want you here. So now I'm left with the feeling of like, well, if you don't fucking want me, fuck you, I'm going to do my own thing. And then that puts me in competition with them. And it's like, fuck, it keeps me up. Yeah. So yeah, fuck England. That's why I'm in Holland. That's why I'm with Paula and Mauni and the Dutch.
So with that, you and David, I'm sorry for cutting you off there. So am I with what you've just said there?
It's the same thing in Africa. There's
Uh-huh.
so many people that fucking need my help. I go there and it's like, yeah, well, fuck you. We don't want you. You're a white man. Yeah. It's
Yeah, but what happens with the people who really want your help? I'm like, oh, does that make you feel?
oh no, I fucking love it.
Excellent.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, but what I want from it is like fucking just support around these ethical dilemmas that I find
Uh-huh.
myself.
Uh-huh.
And yeah, no, my passion is teaching, and I want to build this global university now that people with lived experience and alternative learning styles can be qualified in a way that gets recognized in the world. And if you want to measure the success of this organization in economic sense, like how much you can get done with money, yeah, like fucking like I don't know anyone else who's able to do as much as we do with the resources we've got. I mean, you know how dedicated people are in this fucking like Fatima Merida literally work fucking 24/7 almost just to pay their rent. You know, it's like fucking, and they just love and just, it's, oh, fuck, it drives me fucking mad. Ocean, look at Ocean. She just fucking, I've got some food, I've got like, she just goes to fucking, like the amount of work that woman's done. And you know, I got a pain in my buttocks. And then I went for a big shit. And she's a missionary. It's like, fuck. Bruno. I mean, look at Bruno. Okay, hang on. I've got to take this quickly. Hello?
Gaff and Parliament, you mean, how are you doing?
That
He's back.
Sorry, mate. That was my mate. Yeah, all right, let's start the checkout. Good luck, guys. Well done. Well done. Go forth and multiply, conquer, do what you do. Do what you do. Okay.
Yeah, also pick up yeah, thanks so much, David and Charlie. Yeah, a lot to learn, a lot to gain still. But got to start somewhere. Got to start with the first step. So, yeah, got to start with that first step. What the most difficult step to climbing Mount Everest is the first step. So, yeah, I'm just really thankful that I'm able to walk this journey with you lot.
Thanks, Paula.
Yeah, I'm checking out, feeling a bit amazed actually. I mean, I came onto the men's meeting a few months ago, just because I needed a bit of community and a little bit of support, and now here I am. It's wild. I'd no idea that I'd be doing this. So that's pretty cool. That's very cool, and I'm enjoying it. And try not to think about it too much. We'll just see what happens tomorrow and go with it. So thanks a lot, and David, thank you for your time this evening. This is I feel a little bit smarter than I felt a couple of hours ago, but also I'm aware of my ignorance now as well. So I've got some learning to do. So thank you very much. That's me.
I am checking out in amazement, awe, and wonder. This time last year, we weren't even, we were a thought. We didn't have a website. We had nothing. We were just I don't mean just, we were a conversation just about to happen. It was in about November time actually that I started to speak to Dan about just about my website, and I think it was about March time that we launched the website. So if we just think like how far I've come, and personally when I joined the pilgrimage in January the 2nd, how far that I've come. There isn't a day that goes by that I don't feel stretched, man, by this. I really, really do, man, feel stretched, especially with my language and my voice. It really stretches me. This stuff stretches me. But in the same sense, I've never felt so excited. That almost I want to be stretched, because I know the more that I am uncomfortable, the more learning that will happen. You know, and we have. I just know that whatever we're going to do, we're going to do it as a team, and that's what I'm really, man, excited about. Yeah, yeah, I'm checking excited, guys. Thanks.
Cool. So let me just finish the last two slides. Have I still got them here? Did I close the presentation? Can you see the screen?
Yep.
Okay, so the great dictator, you know about that. We spoke about that. But really what I wanted to do was, in summary, yep, a good leader has the ability to lead self and others. And the organizations they find themselves in by reflecting on their own experience, communicating to their followers, and having the insight and wisdom to perceive the consequences of their actions. And Charlie Chaplin grew into that. First movie, he had technical experience. 10 days after the death of his firstborn son, he was up there filming a movie. I feel like that when I when I lost Matthew and my dad. It's like, fuck, this show must go on. Family values. There he is with his fourth wife. Yep, I also relate to having. There he is with Einstein, gaining wisdom from others. And there he is as an elder sharing his wisdom with mentoring Marlon Brando. Yep. And basically took the fucking piss out of power. So, Charlie Chaplin, we honor you, mate.
Hmm.
Men, I honor you. Thank you. Go out into the world, do good. And are you okay if this recording goes public on my website of 14 subscribers?
Thank you.
Yeah, you're
Thank you.
all okay with that?
Yep.
No problem.
Yeah, yeah.
Thanks, David.
Thanks
All
for your
right.
time, David.
Thank you.
Thanks, David.
Take care, David.